I would never give somebody the 100% perfect diet. Why? It just wouldn't work. It's one reason that I would never do cookie cutter plans. They just wouldn't work. Speaking to an old friend today, we realised that things go up and down. Lifestyles change, just like the weather. And in this country, they change pretty quickly. It was pissing it down, thunder and storm early. And now it's sunny again. So we need to dive into why we do the things we do and each client is an individual. Let me explain. So many people have an iPhone. But just like your diet, no iPhone is going to be the same. I can guarantee that. No one is going to have the same background as me, along with exactly the same apps, with the same case, the same amount of battery power, and it's exactly the same lifetime. It's exactly the same age. No one. Some people might think they're pretty close, but even if they had the same apps loaded on the phone, they won't be in the same boxes. They won't then be given the same titles for those boxes and them groupings. Just like your nutrition. Now, when it comes to working with the type of clients I work with, these guys are busy. They need it to be individualized. They need their nutrition to be on point, their training to be on point. So I need to work closely with these guys. Why? Because if I don't, it just wouldn't work. We already know what to do. So when it comes to why we do the things, that's where we need to look into it. Like, why do you overeat? Why do you undertrain? Why do you say you're going to do something and not actually do it? Why? Chances are it's linked back years and years ago. So what happens if I prescribe the perfect diet? Well, for starters, if we look at science and it tells me that you need to eat 2,500 calories because you're doing 76 minutes of movement per day and you burn this amount of calories during it in order to burn fat, then everyone is different. Everyone's hormonal status is going to be different, where their starting point is, where their stress levels are. It's all going to make a different impact into their actual routine and their nutrition. So me just giving someone a specific diet that I would give everyone, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't work. Also, if I stop aiming for perfect and start aiming for good, I know I get more results with clients. So what do I mean by that? Well, perfect. It might mean that there are no processed foods in there. There are the exact macros that people need, with the exact foods that are going to lower inflammation, promote really, really positive hormonal states, and really, really focus on their performance. But the problem with that, in the real world, the world we live in, the real world, it doesn't really add up like that. 2 + 2, we usually get 5 or 6, and not 4. If I use science, for example, on a very obese person and I go ketogenic, what are the chances of them actually following the plan? I was presenting at a seminar and the lady asked me that I felt great on this plan. Why do I feel great on the keto plan if it's not great for you? Well, I didn't say it wasn't great for you. Like, for performance, no. But for an obese person, then ketogenic diets might be pretty good for you to lose fat. However, when I asked her, okay, so if you felt that good, why aren't you on it right now? Why? Why aren't you on it now? It's hard to follow. It's hard to be compliant with that sort of plan. So that's where we come back to the real world. If a client is going to follow a plan better, if I add a little chocolate in, they will get a little chocolate. If they're going to follow a plan better, if they have a donut in there, they will get a donut. I know there was a time and a place where I would go for this 100% perfect diet, and 90% of the time I would get fuck all results, and it would be frustrating, not just for me but for the client as well. Why? Because they wanted to follow the plan, but they were craving so much stuff and they couldn't follow the plan. They were going from A to B, but there was no little bits in the middle, so they couldn't take a step to each goal. If someone is eating 6 McDonald's a day, first off, what the fuck are you eating 6 McDonald's a day for? But if someone is eating 6 Big Macs a day, then you tell them to eat 4, then 2. Then they say, well, can I make my own burger? Like, can I change it a little bit? And that also goes for the busy guys that we work with. These guys are so successful in their business, but they've had to sacrifice elsewhere. And chances are it's on this nutrition side of things. So if I give them a 100% perfect plan that they have to spend an hour preparing every day, it's not going to fly. It's not going to work. Some people that I work with have chefs, and that's cool. Some people will have their meals delivered to them. That's cool. Now, what we need to do is find out what things we have at our disposal. So if they're in a hotel, what foods are actually happening? What foods are available at that hotel? Are they at a meeting? What things are going to be available at that meeting? Are they going training? Are they in a gym and they need to do some certain things at the gym at this place? But what I'm saying is that if I go for 100% perfection from the knowledge I've picked up in over 10 years in this industry, it won't work with every single client. Yeah, there will be some person that like completely defies it and gets 100% compliance. But are we actually looking at health or are we looking at fitness here? Because remember those 5 pillars of health. If their mindset is off, then is that still healthy? If they're putting other things to the side and losing their social life because they've got a 100% perfect plan, am I doing my job as a coach, as a health specialist, as a mindset specialist? Am I doing my job? No. We need to look at health as a bigger picture. And focusing on 100% perfect isn't necessarily doing that. Focusing on good, focusing on results, focusing on progression, that's what makes so much difference. Just think about it a bit more.